You say change of kinds, you mean the evolution of one species from another or to another? Yes, we have that in action actually in the Galapagos.
Could you give me one instance?
Yes, we have an example from a group of birds called Darwin's finches.
You take a look at the difference between the finches on the islands that all started out. I mean, that's very, very observable.
But that's not Darwinian evolution. There's been no change of kinds. What do the finches become?
They become genetically new and anatomically new, recognizably different species.
So they're still finches?
Well, of course they're still finches, yes.
They're not a change of, there's no change of kind.
It's time for Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
The fool has said, in his heart there is no God. They are corrupt.
Hey guys, I have a challenge for the atheists out there, and it's a very open-ended challenge.
Oh, I likes me a good challenge, I does.
It's I do, and no you don't.
So let's hear this challenge he's got.
I want you to tell me what exactly you think atheism has to do with science. Now, I know you guys love using the word science, but I've never gotten a coherent account of where the two are actually supposed to connect.
I would have thought this one was obvious. The fact that some people need it spelled out for them is bogglesome.
So I want you to make me a video essay, and the one ground rule is that this video has to be at least 1 minute long. I want an actual argument. I don't want zingers. I don't want you to say something like, because science is facts and religion is bullshit, man.
I'm in agreement with him. I don't want to hear zingers either. I actually want to see some evidence and not your own personal opinion that you can't back up with any real demonstrable facts.
See, that kind of is the argument. Religion makes certain claims about the universe, its nature, how it works, and science takes the facts, tests them, and determines the actual nature of the universe and how it works. It's not the fault of scientists that this takes religious claims and debunks the ever-loving shit out of them. They just do. Age of the Earth? It's not 6,000 years, and science can show that. Some big old flood that wiped out the entire Earth except for a floating menagerie? Yeah, that never happened, and science can show that too. Evolution versus creationism? Well, science has shown which of those is the one that really happened. Are you beginning to see a pattern here? It's not that science and atheism are inherently connected. It doesn't take science to not believe a God is real. But science sure does help reinforce that position by using facts to show that religion is bullshit, man. That's not a zinger. That's how it is.
That's not an argument for atheism going hand in hand with science. That's an argument for anti-theism to go hand in hand with science. And just for your information, BionicDance, science does not disprove the claims of religion. In fact, science actually confirms it. You're going to say that with science, that you can prove that the Earth is older than 6,000 years old. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that I don't know specifically how old the Earth is, and I believe it's a more intellectually honest answer than people like you who believe this Earth is billions of years old, okay, or multiple millions of years old. Okay, that's your opinion based on the faith that you're putting into these scientists. I don't have that kind of faith in man like that. I don't believe you or anyone else on this planet knows exactly how old the Earth is. I can go by what the Bible says. The Bible suggests that it might be 6,000 years old. But at the end of the day, I really don't know how old it is. Number two, you're going to sit there and talk about how science has debunked the flood? Really? It doesn't take a lot to flood a city these days. It just takes a tsunami, a hurricane, and just some really bad weather to flood a city. 70% of the earth is water. Now, if you go back to the biblical times and you take the water from underground, you get the water that's coming from the sky, 40 days and 40 nights, and you get, water come from other places, because this is a supernatural event that's happening, then it's very possible for the earth to be flooded. To be honest, really all you need is the water from underground and the water from the sky. That's really all you need at the end of the day. And this fact that that evolution has been proven to be true and that creationism has been proven to be wrong, it's a lie out of hell. Intelligent design is a stronger argument than evolution because you don't have any proof for your evolution. You don't have any transitional fossils. You don't have any proof that a dog can become a non-dog over a long period of time. You can't even give birth to anything regarding macroevolution, but you can give me ideas and theories, but you can't prove it with actual science. In order for the scientific method to be used with these kind of things, you have to be able to observe it. And you haven't observed any of this. You accept what scientists tell you by faith. You're not a scientist. You're not working in a lab, and you haven't seen any of these things. So how do you know any of these things are true, BionicDance. How do you know that they're not lying to you? You don't. So you place your faith in these scientists and you think that what these scientists are telling you is true. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to believe that evolution is true, that's fine. Just don't come to us trying to say that science has proved that, because science has not. Now, with that being said, I actually believe that theism in science makes more sense, simply because the more complicated we see that the universe is, the more complex that we see that the universe is and how the world works, the more and more that we see that there is an intelligent designer that is in the middle of keeping everything in order. To believe that nothing created everything, the way you guys suggest with the theory of evolution, well, that, my friends, is the things for science fiction. Reality is that everything that we see, and I mean everything, has been made by a designer. And you know this. You just hate God, and you're trying to make every excuse in the book to suggest that he's not real.
Now, I know many of you are going to say that the association of science and atheism is self-evident and goes without saying, but that's really why I want you to make these videos, is because what we think is self-evident and what we think goes without saying is really where our own little unexamined assumptions lurk.
That might be true for religion. When theists are asked how they know the universe was created by a god, their answer is usually that they've looked around and thought it had to be, because they can't imagine any other way. But the harsh reality is that most self-proclaimed atheists are the sort to check their assumptions, because most of us don't believe in gods because we looked into the facts and didn't find a god anywhere in them.
Wait. Did I hear BionicDance correctly? She said that atheists look into the facts? Oh my God, now I see why she's avoiding me so much. And true empiricism and Beckel and some of the other Christians out there that will rip her to pieces if she said that in our presence. BionicDance, you're wrong. You guys don't look into the facts. What you guys do is you create straw men. I'll explain. If you look into the facts, let's take a look at the global flood. Well, science totally debunks the fact that the whole world was flooded. But anytime that we ever talk to you guys, what do you guys say? Well, you know, like for example, I'll ask you a question. I'm like, okay, why did God flood the earth? Because your God was bored. Because your God's a douche. Because your God's this and your God's that. But that's not what the facts are. What are the facts according to the claim? I don't know. I don't read your stupid Bible. So why do you believe that science debunks the flood? You don't even know what the Bible is claiming. That's number one. Let's get to the origin of the universe now. Okay, you're saying that you're looking at the facts of how the universe started, right? You're saying that a singularity expanded over billions of years and created the universe. And then when Earth was made, that the Earth was like a molten lava type thingy or whatever, or like molten crust, and then it rained for millions of years, and then the first life form came out of this. And not you or any other scientist has ever actually observed this. And you know, science deals with observance. You have to actually be able to see it. You have to be able to test it over and over and over again in order to see if it's true. And you never did that. That's why I said earlier that you have a belief in evolution. You can't actually prove it. You can't show me factual information that any of the things that you're claiming about the Big Bang or what happened in abiogenesis, then going into evolution, is actually true. You have no proof. It is a pseudoscience. You have not looked at the facts. What you guys do is you create these straw men. You assume, you think, you hope, and you do all these other things to try to say that, well, this is what science is saying, and this is what religion is saying, instead of actually taking a look at the facts. You are not looking at the facts. What you're doing is you're bringing your bias or your presuppositions into the argument, assuming that there's no God, and then running with it instead of coming into it, looking at it with an honest assessment, and then coming to the conclusion, okay, I don't see no God. You guys don't do that because you're too intellectually dishonest to do something like that. FYI, BionicDance, you guys also say that many of you atheists on my channel, on the Clergy Project, on certain atheist channels, on TST, on various other channels here on YouTube, have claimed that you have read the Bible and that it has made you into an atheist. You looked at the facts of the Bible and it made you into an atheist. But I have a problem with that because 99.9% of the time, and I'm serious, 99.99% of the time, you guys don't even know what's in the Bible to be able to say, well, I read the Bible, and then I came to the conclusion that there is no God. And when you're sounding like you went to evilbible.com or one of those websites to get these arguments, or you've been spending a lot of time listening to Christopher Hitchens like we're stupid, we're not supposed to know where you're getting your arguments from. Atheists do not observe the facts. BionicDance, I can prove in less than 10 minutes that you have not observed the facts. In less than 10 minutes, I can prove that you have not observed the facts and you don't know what you're talking about.
And didn't find a God anywhere in them. Atheists are the ones shouting, "Show me the evidence." And it's the believers saying, "Well, isn't it obvious? Just look around you." Or, "Look at the order in the universe that had to be intelligently designed." Or worse, "Everything that's made needs a maker. Everything designed needs a designer." As if we should just accept the assumption that humanity and the universe were designed and made like a table or a skyscraper.
Or we can listen to the alternative that we all evolved from a single-cell organism, from a common ancestor that we've never seen, that we have no proof for, that we have no transitional fossils for. That is a pseudoscience. That's not real science. Or we can believe on Thanksgiving we're related to tomatoes, apples, orangutans, carrots, oranges, and potatoes. I mean, that is what atheists believe. At the end of the day, you believe that you're related to all living things. You're related to leaves, branches, ants, roaches. You know, the ones that's crawling over your head, BionicDance. That's why you probably cut your camera off, put the animation on. You know, I mean, seriously, those are your relatives, according to you. According to my God, those things were created independent of me, and I was given dominion over the earth. Wait a minute, that sounds very familiar. What we're going through right now. I was given dominion over the earth to care for the animals, to care for the earth, and to subdue the earth, to be fruitful and multiply, which is what we see every single day. But you know what we don't see? We don't see macroevolution. We don't see chemical evolution. We don't see stellar and planetary evolution. We don't see none of the garbage that the atheist community actually believes.
So, yeah, it seems pretty damned obvious that science takes religious claims about the universe and dumps them on their head. All you have to do is take those claims and test them out, try to find evidence for them, and then fail miserably to do so. Have you really never read about or watched someone do that? Really? Not ever. Are you living in a bunker waiting for the apocalypse or something?
So that is my assignment to you. Make a 1-minute video expressing what you think science has to do with atheism.
I make 4-minute video, and for a second time squash you like bug. Go away!
Link it in the comments below, and I hope to respond.
This is what I look like when I'm not holding my breath. Given how you pussied out last time I responded to you, I'm guessing you'll private up this video also.
Wait a minute, stop there, BionicDance, stop there. You ain't in a position to call nobody a coward, considering how you don't like to be in a live room with the people that you disagree with. You know, I know you enjoy BionicDance's channel and the echo chamber where you can just get your audience to agree with you because they're just going to agree with you. The day you ever come into one of my Google Hangouts again, or you go into another Christian's Google Hangout again, be prepared to answer the tough questions, which we know you can't do. You can't defend science. You can't defend your atheism. You can't defend any of the claims that you made in here. All you can do is make claims and then have them debunked right in front of your face. And until next time, guys, this has been another edition of Preaching to the Quiet Ministries, putting BionicDance in her place yet again, telling all of you to read your Bible and do what it says. God bless.